Welcome. I go by FD White. If you are not, then you probably seen this already. This is the macro line that we had started the bull trend coming in at the end of September 2023, going into October of 2024. Bounce, 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 bounce. Now we're retesting this to see if we hold this. Let's see who we have in the chat. JB Hawk Smash. What's up, JB? It's a new week. Yeah, I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping. Is that daylight savings time has, well, we got, it gets dark early. We went back an hour, or did we go forward an hour? We went. I don't know. It's all messed up. Every time this happens, it just jacks me up. But we are in a new week. Bitcoin did bounce at our line. That's the main thing. So we did not close below here. But like I said, a lot of people have their different metrics. They have the 50-week moving average, and then we have people who are looking at what's another one? Coming in the bull market support band. We have a lot of different things. Fall back, spring forward. Okay, yeah, there we go. So fall back, spring forward. Okay, that's why it gets darker early, right? So, like I said, 7 p.m. I'm about to 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Usually when I say things 3 times, I remember. So 7 p.m. is now the weekly close. I don't know what I was thinking, JB, to be completely honest with you. I have no idea what I was thinking. So we'll watch this, see what happens. I really wanted to focus on looking at some altcoins, doing some altcoin TA. Even though, I think altcoins are, if Bitcoin starts to fall below, I got this green line here because this is my line in the sand that we've been talking about, this upper slope and trend line. But really, this green line, I feel like we start closing below there, that's it. And that's coming in between like 80, we'll say 87.5 to 90K. So we'll be watching that line very, very intently. I like that we didn't close below here. We came down, we wicked down on the weekly, came down to 92,879, but then we just came right back up. And now we are teetering on this, and we're not getting a strong bounce. See, that's another thing that I really like. Alexandra G is in the building. How you doing, Alexandra G? Welcome. So I like that we bounced from this line. I know Alexandra G knows all about this line, my line in the sand that we've been talking about over the past few months. So I like that we bounced here, but I'm still a little bit cautious because usually buyers will come in, bulls will come in. They will come in strong. Let me actually go to a smaller time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see how we are interacting with my line. And we're not really getting too much of a bounce. I would want to see a huge hourly candle, a huge 4-hour candle, and then ultimately, a huge daily candle. But right now, it doesn't seem like we're getting too much of a bounce. Good evening, Alexandra, JB. Hope you too. Yeah, so appreciate you for stopping by. You know how we usually start a little slow, and then everybody starts pouring in once I'm ready to get off, and then I stay on a little bit longer. So we'll see if some more people pour in. But I really wanted to just come and cover how everybody's doing. We talked about this on the live stream a few days ago where we didn't really do too much TA. We really just came in and we talked about, how emotions and talking about psychology if we're going into a bear market. And I dropped a really good video. Well, it was good to me a little bit earlier talking about basically psychology of, if we are in a bear market and how would I approach this bear market? How am I approaching this bear market if this is indeed a bear market? What's up? I'm glad I'm catching this. Cameron03, what's up, Cameron? Salute to you. Appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure you share the stream out on your favorite platforms, X, wherever you're at. But like I said, we're just watching the chart. What I was saying before, before a couple more people stopped in, was that we came to our line. I know you guys are pretty frequent to the channel, so we've been having this line ever since the beginning of October of 2023. And we came down, we breached it here. You can see this is our macro line, but we didn't close below it. Depending on, some people may have drawn it different, but I actually haven't seen anybody else with this line. I've seen a lot of people with the 50-week moving average. A lot of people, one of my guys pulled like a fib from like the bottom to the top and came with some price points to determine if he's in a bull or bear market, if we're in a bull or bear market. But I haven't really seen anybody else's analysis. Everybody's been going off moving averages and things like that. So I haven't seen this specific analysis, but this is what I'm going off of. I did some back testing last cycle when I pulled a similar line from the bottom of the bear market, or the bottom, basically the beginning of a bull trend going into 2020. It was 2019 to 2021, and it was similar to this. So I did this instead of going off what everybody else was looking at. But it's still pretty close. It's still pretty close. So click that like button, subscribe if you are new. Yes, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you are new. Me personally, if this is your first time over on the channel, I don't really have clickbait. I don't really have like a lot of things to show you. Like I do have links, I have do things like that, but for the most part, my channel, we deal with trading. We deal with a lot of psychology, a lot of, how to navigate the markets, how to be cool. We call ourselves the cool kids. We have a free Telegram. I think I pinned it in the comments. Cool Kids Alpha Club, where we we try to stay cool, we try to stay calm, and we try to stay rational in these irrational markets. Because I think that's the way that you can make the most money. Just being cool, staying cool, no matter if the market is going up, no matter if the market is going down, you staying rational and you stand to your strategy. If you're trading, stand to your plan. If you're investing, and just trying to survive, man. Trying to survive. It's been a weird ever since 2020. We'll talk about the charts in a second, but I was watching a video earlier and talking about how different it is the world has been since 2020. And I thought about it. I sat down, I thought about it. I said, it is. It's been different. It's been a lot different. It's been a lot weirder, but I try not to dwell on the negativity. I'm human. So sometimes, you get down in the dump, so to say. But for the most part, I have a beautiful family. I do what I love, every day, full time. So it's not really, I have health, which is pretty much one of the good things or if not the best thing that you can have is, pretty good health. So with that being said, I come to the crypto market and I don't make it my end all be all. I use it as a vehicle. I'm not super religious about it. I love Bitcoin. I love crypto, but I'm not like a super crypto evangelist. I can talk about it all day, every day. I can, try to orange peel the best of them. But for the most part, I'm just trying to feed. Well, my family is fed, but trying to do better, trying to leave a legacy, and just trying to help people at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what we do. But like I said, Bitcoin, I talked about this earlier in the video. So if you guys, after we get off the live stream, make sure you go watch my last recorded video. I was sitting in the car talking about, I can't remember what the title was, but I was talking about psychology and if we start to go down and how you got to change your bull market mentality going to your bear market mentality, if this is a bear market. So as we go down, or as, if you start to buy, if you start to accumulate, which is the position or the mentality that I'm in right now, is to accumulate in a bear market. I just start, I'm accumulating, and I'm convicted because, if let's say I buy right here, I buy at 94,761 and it goes to 80,000. And it goes to 70,000. Like your conviction, because when you in a bear market, a lot of people are nervous. A lot of people don't know if it's gonna come back, if it's ever gonna return to these highs. So your conviction has to be strong. And I think Bitcoin is gonna be is one of the more safer, sure bets in all of investing. To be completely honest, not just crypto, of course, in crypto, but all of investing. Any asset that you can buy, anything that you can buy to appreciate, I think Bitcoin is one of the safest. Will we get a lot of volatility in between? Yeah. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got Joe in the building. Joe, I forgot to mention this last stream. I appreciate you giving out those free memberships, man. That was appreciated. Gifted some memberships out. So Joe is amazing. If you haven't watched Joe, he's one of the top TA guys that on YouTube. So I watch him all the time. Go over there and steal some of his knowledge, and then, try to implement some of the strategies that he has, when he trades as well. So he's a great teacher. He does most of it for free. If you want to get like super intricate, he has his group. But for the most part, if you just want to learn, like Joe is probably, I say, top 2 or 3 on YouTube that you can go learn. So shout out to Joe. Appreciate you for coming over, Joe. And we got to link up. We definitely got to link up. We've been saying that, but we definitely got to link up and get some knowledge on one video. But like I said, we're watching Bitcoin. It's not really too much TA to be talking about. I mean, if you're trading, it's a different story, so we can start zooming in. But for the most part, I've just been looking at reclaiming levels. Let's actually go and make sure we can see this. I've been looking at reclaiming some levels, make this a little bit smaller. Hoping Bitcoin could potentially get back in that $100,000 range. So this is a psychological level. It's also a technical level. Really 98, but 100 is a very psychological level that everybody's been talking about, been watching. It was a psychological level ever since 2020. Like ever since Bitcoin starts, going up, it's like 100,000. That was like the pinnacle, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. So that psychological level has been built up for years. So now, as we fall below it, it's going to act as a little bit of resistance, because you're going to have some traders that are going to have their stop losses at 100,000, and you're going to have some traders who are going to have their take profits at 100,000. So it's going to be a battle if we do get some sort of bounce. We've been down, over the past, I think we had like 15 to 20 straight 15-minute candles at one point during last week. So it's been a really rough week last week. But at some point we have to bounce. And I'll tell you this, in the bear market, we were bounced, like we had bounces. You had opportunities to get some bounces, but the overall trend is down. That's the thing. Like, it's just not down every day. Everybody's, it's just down, down, down every day. You do get some bounces. You might get some significant bounces of 10, 20, maybe 30%, depending, but is the structure going to be changed? If we're in a downtrend, are we breaking structure? Are we creating a new a new trend, a new structure? That's the thing. So a bear market isn't just all down in the dumps. It's a lot of sideways. I will say that. And it is a lot of just days where it's just like down, down, down. Then it'll just be sideways for like weeks. And it's just like, oh my God, can we do something? Can you at least go down, get some sort of a movement? But if you zoom in, you can, traders, this is when I learned how to really trade last bear market. I was really into being precise and getting precise entries and taking my money and paying myself pretty quick. And I think that really helped me this cycle, because like I said, this is really a trader cycle. If you wasn't holding Bitcoin and a few selected alts at the right, specific, perfect time, it was really a trader's market. So we got Dano Crypto in the building, another legend on YouTube, man. So if you're not following Dano, make sure you go over there and follow Dano, and on X as well. Dano, put your stuff down there. He's getting that red light. I need it. I need that red light therapy, man. Get my mental going. Yeah, definitely get my mental going. But yeah, Dano is another one who you should follow. He's funny. He has amazing TA. And he's been dedicated to the space for a long time as well. If the market is good, if the market is bad, Dano has been here. And those are the people that you want to follow. Because like I was talking about on my last stream, you're going to get a lot of people who fall off. You're going to get a lot of people who not going to come back to the space until the market conditions are thriving again. So, those type of people are like, they make content and then they start making different type of content. Not saying you got to be put in a box, but make sure you follow those people who don't leave the space, who are immersed in the space. If you are immersed in the space, I mean, if you leave, that's, it's different. But people like Joe from Trade Intuition, people like Dano Crypto, they'll be here. They'll be here. Just like me, I'll be here too. So follow us all. Subscribe to all our channels. And we got to definitely connect as well, Dano. Who else we got in the building? Gear 18428. What's up, FD? Hello, FD. Hello, fam. What's up? Appreciate you for stopping by. We just talking general psychology of a bear market, and we're trying to figure out where we can make some money. So that's the thing. I'm stepping back right now, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, and this is what happened to me last bear market. I said, of course, we can go into a bear market for a year, but I want to make some money. I want to accumulate, but I also just don't want to be stagnant and just accumulate. I'm going to do that. That's my number one priority. But I want to make money as well. So this is when like I said, excuse me, I really started to trade, really started to hone in on my trading. So that's what I'm going to really be focused on. I know a lot of people don't trade, and a lot of people think they can trade, which is okay. I used to think I could trade too until I used to lose all my money. But like I said, if you follow people like Joe, he'll teach you that a lot of it is risk management. A lot of it is you versus you. A lot of it is, making sure your risk to reward is good. So that's what I'm going to do. If we start losing key levels and we start going into like a real bear market, because if you look back, or if you're in a bear market, it's like a recession. You don't know you're in a recession until kind of like you're already deep into the recession. You know what I mean? So we do have invalidation levels for a Bitcoin bull run, but a lot of people's perspectives and a lot of people's analysis is a little bit different. So mine is coming close to where we are right now, but losing that $88,000 to $90,000 level on a weekly close will be, we'll probably really start to say, okay, bear market. But it's all good. Bitcoin is going to recover at some point. Just how's your conviction, and can you wait? That's pretty much it. So. Let's see what you guys are. Thanks, bro. Can't quit now. In too deep. Yeah, definitely. When you do this every day and you're so immersed in the space, it's like, I've already put this too much time into it. We still have a lot of upside, not only as a space, but also as a creator. Like you have a lot of upside. I have a lot of upside. So why quit now? I think next cycle, next go around, next bull cycle or bull trend. I don't like to really call it a bull market, but we can call it that. Next bull market, people like me, people like Dano, people like Joe will explode. We'll explode. We'll be rewarded for our conscious efforts. Steady going under because I'm in too deep. Yeah, Alexandra G. So yeah, your Telegram group, it won't let me join. It says this user doesn't exist. Let's see. Maybe Alexandra, can you drop the Telegram link down in the comment section? I don't know what. I think mine may have, the one I have above may be wrong. Maybe the old one. I think I changed it, so I apologize. So maybe Alexandra G can drop it. So we're watching Bitcoin. Not really too much to talk about now. Let's talk about levels, and then we'll talk about some altcoins. We'll see if you guys want to talk about some altcoins right now. Everybody, let's start with this. Everybody last week, any little bounce we got was getting bullish. Bull runs back on. All-time highs coming back in. Blah, 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 blah. That's cool. Everybody, if your sentiment, if that's what you need to get by, if that's what you need to get through the day, you need to be bullish. That's cool. A lot of people like that. Me personally, I need to see reclaims. I need to see reclaims of key levels. And it's not too many. It's not too many key levels that we really need to look at. We'll look at them right now. First and foremost, we talk about that $100,000 level. So we're going to just say that 100 is really like around 98 and a half. Let's just call it 100,000. So we have our RL, we have our range low here, and we have our range high here. So this is what I'll be looking for. We need to first and foremost get back above, start taking some of these highs out, taking some of these 4-hour candles out, which is coming above like 97 and a half, getting back up here, flipping that 100,000 into support. If we don't flip 100,000 into support, we can just chill under 100,000 and just everybody's going to be bored to death. We don't even have to dump. We don't have to pump. As long as we're chilling below 100,000, it's nothing really to talk about. Once we can flip that $100,000 level, and this is just simple TA from my perspective. Once we can flip this, now we can say, okay, once you lose a level and you get accepted back into that level, the likelihood or the probability of you going back to a range high is very high. So the range high will be coming in at about 104 and a half. We can actually pull this up a tad bit and we can go off of these highs here. So yeah, we'll say about 104 and a half. So we have 100,000 to 104,000 and a half. So that'll be the range. Once we can get back in here, that's step number one. This is step number one. So this is a trade that I will be looking to take. If we reclaim this, I will be looking to reclaim or to take this trade back up to, like I said, back up to about 100. I would probably take my money because we have a midpoint. We have the MP right here, our midpoint, which is coming in at about 102 and a half. So the market has been very volatile. The market has been, very wonky, so to say. So I would probably put my first take profit somewhere at 102 and a half, and then coming in to take my full take profit possibly at 104. If we do reclaim this $100,000 level, be looking for everybody on YouTube to be like, maybe bull market's back, bull market's back, bull market's back. But we got a long way to go before we can say bull market's back. And that's just being completely honest from how I see the market. We have at least another $10,000 to $15,000 if we reclaim 100,000 to say, okay, bull market's back on. We have a lot of macro factors that are affecting the crypto market as well. So what I'm looking at right now is that our first step would be to reclaim this 100, get back in this range, coming in about 100,000 to about 104.5K. So until we do that, we really can't say anything. But I mean, we can even look a little bit forward or a little bit more forward and say, okay, FD, if we do reclaim this, what would be next? And then we have our golden zones. We have a couple golden zones that we would need to reclaim. So I want you guys to remember these levels. We have that $100,000 level. Then we have this, we'll just say 104.5 to $105,000 level. And then we have this 107.5 to 100, we'll say 107 to $107,500 level, which we have. You can see all this price action over here, all this over here, all this over here. We can even go back to the beginning of September where you can see all of this price action and these wicks coming down perfectly to about 107 to $107,500 that area. So this will be our next one. So we have one level here, We have another level here. That'll be 2. This will be our third level. Now, once we start hitting these gold zones, now it's like, okay, maybe everybody's going to, I'm telling you, if this happens, we may get this, and this may be some sort of a dead cat bounce. But if this happens, first step, 1 on 100. Second step, 104.5, 105, somewhere around there. Third step, 107 to 107.5. People are going to, I'm telling you, people are going to start getting very bullish. Our third one would be this 100, or fourth one rather, would be 110. So we're going to, I'm telling you, this could happen. This definitely could happen, coming back up to 110,000. Where's my drawing tool? This will be number 4, 110,000. Ultimately, the line in the sand, though, would be coming back above 116. So we have one more here, 5. And then if we get back above, and this is like, I'm just talking, this probably won't, I don't even know if this will, we're just getting ahead of ourselves, a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I want you to be cognitive of these levels. 116. If we get back above 116, the bull market is back on. That's pretty much it. Anything under, to me, anything under, I say, between 100 and 110, I say all this area here, this is limbo. This is limbo. Anything under here is, okay, we're a little bit bearish. Anything under this $100,000, no, down here, I'm sorry. Anything under this $100,000 level is more bearish. Anything above this $107,000, level, no, $110,000 level, we're a little bit bullish. But 116, if we get back above there, then, that's, the bull market is back on. That's when I would be confident to say the bull market is back on. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, we got a lot coming in. So Cameron said, thank you. And we get into Ondo. You know what? Let's see. I'm trying to keep it here steady going under. Thank you, we'll do, please. Facts. I don't think Bitcoin can 100K again till the end of the month because the government shutdown and the new economic data coming soon is going to shock the markets a little bit. Link pin works above. So I still try and won't let me join. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what's going on with that Telegram. But Cameron03 says he doesn't think that Bitcoin can go over 100,000 till the end of the month because the government shutdown and new economic data. Oh, so that is another thing. As you know, we haven't got any economic data in a very long time, a couple months, right? So they saying we might not even get October's job data or things like that. Like, wow, is that bad? Like they have it, but they don't release it. They're not, things like that. So they're saying they might not even backtrack and release that data. So this goes along with my thesis. So right now, let me actually, right now, we are looking at, maybe I can pull it up on another one. We are looking at, let me see if I can pull it up. The CME Fed Watch tool, CME Fed Watch tool, to see what is the odds of a rate cut for December. Let's see, CME Fed Watch tool. I used to have this pinned. Let me see. CME Fed. I know it was going down. I know the odds of a rate cut was going down. And that was another thing that the markets did not like. So here's CME. If I can't find it, then I know it. Because I think we were at, okay, I can't find it. But I know it was like 60%. At one point, probably like a month and a half ago, it was like 80%. We had the possibility or the probability of a rate cut. In October was like 98%, and then the probability of a rate cut in December was like 85, 80%, something like that. And so it's dropping. Once we start getting these numbers again, we can get a little bit more clarity as to what's going to happen. If we're going to get some rate cuts, things like that. But it's been tough. It's been very tough to navigate without in the short term. I'll say that in the short term, because I kind of know. I don't know, but we kind of have a hunch of what's going to happen, going down the line, going into 2026, mid 2026, especially once we have a new Fed chair, we have new Fed members coming in, and they're all going to probably be Trump, what's cronies or what's those minions, so to say. So, and they all want rate cuts. These people that are looking to get in the Federal Reserve, they want rate cuts. So I think that's going to be something that we got to wait for. That's going to be something that's going to propel the next run, the next bull run, so to say. So we'll watch. We'll continue to, monitor that. But until between now And when we start getting those new people coming in, a lot of things are looking very, very bad. Like they had like an emergency liquidity meeting. The Fed met with like some banks or something like that a few days ago. It's been very weird. It's been weird times. But this is the thing, and this is what I've learned. And this is what made me not make as much money as I could have going into 2020. Was it 2023? Going into 2023. Because 2022 was bad. Stocks was going down. Crypto was going down. Everything was going down. So we were all like recession, deep recession, depression, this, that, but it didn't pan out like that. It was basically up only for the next 2.5 years, especially in stocks. So I'm not really getting too hell bent on fundamentals. Like they matter. They matter. Don't let anybody who does TA tell you that fundamentals don't matter. They matter a lot, to be completely honest with you. But I am a technical dude, but I do understand that fundamentals matter a lot. So what I'm watching is I want to see more of this data come in, but I kind of have a hunch as to, I think the unemployment is getting worse. Like they have all these job cuts, everything that's going on. A lot of people don't take this into account. So I'm not taking it in too much into account, but I am, factoring it into my thesis as to possibly how low, or how long. I don't really want to predict how long some type of a bear trend will be, because I'm just going to accumulate, have some sort of a schedule, or as Bitcoin comes down to certain levels, certain key levels, we'll buy. Piper, shout out to Piper, Army Piper from Piper Academy. He actually has something where he has a model where you should buy. I can't remember what the name of it. It's slipping my mind right now, but every level that it gets to is when you buy, and then as it goes to certain other levels, you buy heavier and things like that. It's a very good model to accumulate Bitcoin. I gotta figure out what it is, but it's a very good thing that he has, and it definitely, even if you don't go to his and do his, is definitely something that as Bitcoin hits certain levels, certain key levels to the downside, because we do have history. We do have a lot of history to the left of us to get certain levels, to hit certain levels. Like at some point in this crypto market, if this is a bear market, at some point, one of these levels to the left of us will be support, and we're going to bounce from there. Which level is going to be? I don't think it's just going to be some new level that we just create, like just some random level. It's going to be one of these levels below us. It's going to be one of these key levels below us. We have something around 75K. We have all-time highs, past all-time highs at 69K, 70K, somewhere around there. That's like, so we'll say about 70 to 75K is a very important level. And let's see, what percentage would that be down if we did go down from 126 all the way to 70, let's say 70,000. That's not even 50%. That's only 45%. And this is what I've been saying. I don't think Bitcoin is going to go down 80%, 70%. I think 40 to 60 on the high end. So 70,000 sounds scary, but that's only like 45%, 45% from the top. So I'm looking at one of these key levels that is going to hold as support. If we come down, if we continue to come down, if this is a bear market and we come down, one of these levels that we've touched before, some of these support and resistance, one of these major support and resistance levels is going to act as support. I mean, even if we just go into all out hell and we have some type of short-term depression or something like that, and we go lower, it's going to be something. It's going to be one of these levels that is going to act as support. I don't think we're going down to like 25K again. I mean, 41. I've seen some people call for 40. I think Crux of Crypto. Shout out to Crux. That's my guy over from Investing Bros. He said 40. I think he said 40,000, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Crux, if you're watching this, we got another one at like 50,000. Let's see, we can make this bigger. So it's going to be one of these levels to the left of us that's going to act as support, where we get our bear market bounce from. Like I keep saying, if we are in a bear market. So just DCA hard on the way down. Exactly. Cameron 03. Cameron says just DCA on the way down. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. I like my stories when I'm live streaming. So last cycle, I had a big chunk of money just waiting on the sidelines. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy Bitcoin when it hits this level. It hit the level. Then I didn't buy because I'm thinking it's going lower. It did eventually go lower, but every time it hit a level, I'm like, it's going to probably go lower. Even when we had that FTX collapse, I'm like, it's probably going to go lower. Let me make me a little bit bigger. I was like, it's probably going to go lower. So I was looking at I think I was looking at like 8,000, to be completely honest with you. I was looking at another 50% drop from that 15. We didn't spend too much time below or around 15,000. I think it was like 15,000, 15.5K. But I was looking at 12,000, 10,000, 8,000. And it was just like, anytime we hit those numbers, I probably wouldn't have deployed. So what you're saying right now is DCA hard on the way down. Yeah. DCA on the way down. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Not trying to time a top. I didn't try to time a top. Luckily, I didn't try to time a top. But I'm not talking about Bitcoin because I'm not selling Bitcoin. When it comes to these altcoins, we had some runners. We had some heavy runners, and we didn't try to time tops. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna sell 50% here. I'm gonna sell another 50% here. You know, and then we just were out. We weren't trying to time tops. We looked at the technicals. We looked at, you know, sometimes it was like bearish divergence on like high time frames where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get out. But for the most part, I'm not trying to time tops anymore. I'm not trying to time bottoms anymore. And for Bitcoin, I have a long-term mindset on Bitcoin. So even if you just started in Bitcoin, even if you bought the top at 126, at some point, in my opinion, I feel like you will be in profit. Because I do think Bitcoin is going to go to, I don't think it's going to like $1 million no time soon. Like a lot of people think so. And if it does go to $1 million, like I don't know what type of world we'll be living in when Bitcoin is $1 million, unless, you know, these institutions really start to accumulate hard. Retail is not going to take it to $1 million. It's going to have to be either the dollar super collapsing and then everything priced in a dollar is going to go higher. You know, our assets will be super inflated, hyperinflated, or institutions will have to buy heavily and we'll have to get all type of nation states. We'll have to have governments and entities, pension funds and things like that, all, you know, buying into Bitcoin, having Bitcoin on their balance sheet and things like that. And that reserve, you know, a lot of people are talking about the supply shock that will probably, I think it'll come eventually, but timetable, I don't know. What I do know is I'm going to be accumulating and I'm going to use Bitcoin like people use real estate. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. I want to just hold it. And I want to probably, you know, once we get more intertwined with the financial system, probably borrow against it if I need the money, you know, if I need the money. I don't think Bitcoin is not my only source or my only asset that I'm going to hold. I've been actually trying to get into a little bit of stocks when it comes to dividends for cash flow. But, you know, like I said, Bitcoin is pretty much my savings account. And, you know, it's like I said, like real estate, we'll try to figure out if we can borrow against it. If it can stable out, how high it gets, and then possibly stables out, and then possibly, you know, we have some sort of instrument. I mean, Bitcoin has changed so much. I remember when I first got into Bitcoin, it was kind of changing, but it wasn't like this. Now it's just like, you know, it's a financial institutional instrument, and, you know, it's nothing we can do about it. We have to play the game or leave the game, you know, or leave the stadium, so to say. So subscribe. Yep, please subscribe to Piper Academy. Alexandra G just put their the Discord, the DCA plan. Yep, there it is. So this was my first cycle we had okay, camera says this was the first cycle we had institutions and they were the main ones selling right now. No, they were here last cycle. They were here the cycle before last too. But they weren't here like this. We didn't have like ETFs. We didn't have like a bunch of nation states and things like that. So no, because they've been here. Yeah, they've been here, but like you said, not in this capacity. So I think at some point, you know, Bitcoin will be on a lot of people's balance sheets. You know, a lot of nations, a lot of institutions will hold Bitcoin, but at some point it's going to be something else that comes along that people are going to start to accumulate. Like Bitcoin, it's not going to be Bitcoin anymore. People are going to be like, oh, Bitcoin's too expensive. We need something else with a better reward. You know, and they have ETFs. We got a Solana ETF now. We got Ethereum. I think a lot more are going to come. But the altcoin market right now is just jacked up. It's all jacked up. But I was thinking about this earlier, and I was saying like, okay, Bitcoin is of course the one to accumulate. This is what I'm going to accumulate. But now I was looking at somebody called Ian. His name is Ian Dunlap. And he was just basically saying, follow the money, follow the big players for long term. You know, short term, you can speculate things like that. But for the long term, most of the time, if the big players are buying, if the big players are getting behind it, i.e., you know, these ETFs, those will be instruments to accumulate. So looking at Solana as well, I know it's a lot of people say it's not decentralized. A lot of people say this about it. A lot of people say that. I may start, depending on how low. Let's actually look at Solana. Depending on how low. And if you guys want me to look at any altcoins, let me know. But Solana, I was watching it earlier, and Solana levels are pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. So anything to me, anything under 100, where did we get right here? We wicked down here. Liberation Day was $93. I say anything under 100. Let me actually mark this out in real time so I can have this. Let's do this. Oops. I would say anything under 100 for Solana is a buy. If you think Solana has a long-term, if it's a long-term investment, I would say anything under 100 is a gift for Solana. I think Solana is still gonna go to 500, 1,000 at some point. They got a lot of good things going on, some partnerships. I think they got an ETF. I think they're gonna do well in the future. But Bitcoin number one. That's for me. Bitcoin number one, and then probably of course XRP will do well. I think. I'm not sure how high it's gonna go. A lot of people have these crazy astronomical numbers for XRP. But I still think it's going to stand the test of times. And then I think Solana is probably getting on my list as well. Cameron, you said this was the first time. And once Bitcoin is high enough, we should switch over to a Bitcoin reserve. That's the ultimate goal from what I was sold on Bitcoin. Yeah, should. We definitely should. We were supposed to be doing a lot of different things for Bitcoin. We were supposed to be having strategic reserves. We were supposed to be doing all type of stuff that was promised in America. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. It's been weird. So I think Bitcoin opened. Let's actually look. I'm curious to see where Bitcoin opened in 2025. Let's see, November, December, and where we are now. I think it's like we're flat. I think I saw that. So where are we at? What month is this? So January. Oh, this is Solana. What am I doing? Let me go to Bitcoin. So January of 2025, it's February. January, we opened at 93,340. So right now we're like $1,000 above there. So basically we just been flat all year. If somebody woke up from a coma from January to now, they'd be like, oh my God, Bitcoin's only up $1,000 basically. So it's been rough. It's been kind of rough. I thought Bitcoin, so this is where I messed up, and then we'll look at some more altcoins. This is where I messed up. So way back, probably like at the end of 2024 when everything was going up, I said Bitcoin's probably going to 125. This is documented. I said 125 to 140 or 145. I think I said something like that. Best case scenario 160, but I said 125 to 140. So we ended up going to 126, and I didn't really alert my community like, hey, remember that 125, because I was thinking like, okay, this is the beginning of October. I think October is going to be bullish. I think, October, this, that. I didn't get caught in the narrative, the bullish narrative, but I was thinking like, okay, we got some momentum going in to October. I think October is going to be bullish. I think November is going to be pretty bullish. So we started October 1st. We started to break out. Like that should have told me like something is wrong. Like October 1st, we just start breaking out like that. Something should have told me like that was kind of weird. But we started to break out, got up there to 126. We got rejected pretty hard up there, but I was thinking like, okay, we're passing 124. I think that was our all-time high. And we got up to like 125, 126. We got a pullback. I'm like, okay, I can see 140. That was what I was saying. I'm saying I can see 140 now because I was thinking like we were going to get a huge blow off top around 125 to 130. It wasn't that big. Let's actually see what type of blow off top we got at 126. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. So this is the daily. So we got to 126 and we had a huge next day. We had a red candle down to 121, and then the next day was green, and then the next day was red, and then we had that huge dump from 121 and we came down to 106. So we kind of did get rejected hard after a few days after we got that all-time high. So I after that I was a little bit weary, but when we started to go into our zone, I should have, for the people who wanted to sell, for the people who got into Bitcoin and wanted to start selling, I probably should have been a little bit more adamant like, hey, we're hitting our zone. We're at 125. Start DCAing out. Start DCAing out if you're trying to DCA out. Depending on who you are, like me, I'm not DCAing out. I like to buy more, but I wasn't top blasting. A lot of people was top blasting. I wasn't preaching top blasting Bitcoin, meaning buying, at all-time highs. I like to buy, peak fear or fear. But I wasn't really adamant at alerting my community like, oh, hey, remember we talked about this $125 to $140 area that we wanted to start taking profits. I was thinking we were going to hit that higher end, that 140,000. So, that was my mistake from not saying anything. To each his own. Everybody is an adult. But still, like my community, I like to, I said something way a long time ago, and I feel like I should have been a little bit more vocal about starting to take profits at that 125 level. But some people in the community didn't even need that. They were selling. I know some people sold at 120. I know some people sold at because we had this bounce here. We had that all-time high at 124, and then I know somebody was like, "Hey, the next bounce, I'm selling." And I think they sold somewhere around, I think it was 118 to 120, or it might have been this bounce, our last big bounce. But there was a couple of people that sold pretty close to the top. I don't know anybody who sold like the top, like around 126, but somewhere between 120 and 123, we did have some community members that got out. So congratulations. And, I guess I know a lot of people are renting and repeating, trying to sell the top, trying to buy the bottom, trying to sell the top, trying to buy the bottom. I can't do that. I'm not doing that. Not with Bitcoin. I'm just going to accumulate because I'm holding it for a different purpose. I'm saving it. I'm saving in Bitcoin. And like I said, I'm trying to do how they do in real estate and things like that. All Set Analyst. Oh, you changed your name? You're an okay. All Set Analyst. If you're an analyst, we got to get you on the channel, man. Congratulations to being an analyst, man. Yeah, that's big. That's big. Let me know. All Set definitely does have some good gems. He's been rocking with me for a long time since we were over there on Piper Academy doing that night show, the crypto nightcap. And every time, like, this is what I talk about, then we'll get back to the charts. I like to look at, or I like to gauge or take in information as well. A lot of people come on YouTube like they know it all. I know I don't know it all. So people like, All Set, he comes on, he gives a lot of good analysis in comments. I see him in different people's comments on different people's channels and comment and things like that. Very, very well versed in the crypto space. So shout out to All Set. Appreciate you for stopping by. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Quick spell. Yeah, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more live streaming, especially on Sunday. I missed the weekly close. I'm so crazy. I forgot about the time, the spring back or winter back. What you call it? The time when you do the time back. So I was just like, I went live around 7:40, but the weekly close had already happened because I'm an hour late. So I'm just all out of whack. So we'll be back for real at the real time next week. Ian Dunlap, so Cameron 03, Ian Dunlap, I like him too. Yeah, he's very good with the stocks. He's real good with the stock calls, things like that. So a lot of stock people, they look at crypto as like the stock market. And at first it wasn't really working because crypto was just so much different than the stock market. But now with all this institutional things that's coming on, it's kind of like the stock market now, to be completely honest with you. I hate to say it, but we'll see how far this goes along. We wanted institutions here. Institutions pushed us up to 100 or past 100 to 126,000. Like, so you either love it or you hate it, So a lot of whales, a lot of people who've been in crypto for a long time, like 10 years, 8 years, they've been selling. Institutions have been selling as well. But I don't think, I think a lot of times institutions have to sell for their shareholders. Institutions have to sell like ETFs. When they say like BlackRock is selling, it's like, of course, if I own the ETF, the BlackRock ETF, IBIT, and I want to sell, then they have to sell the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin. So it's not really, I mean, it is BlackRock selling, but it's the people who own the ETFs that are selling, that BlackRock has to sell the Bitcoin in order to fulfill their sale orders. So it's definitely weird. Okay, fall back, spring forward. Yeah, fall back, spring forward. He just told me this earlier too. I see I got scatterbrain. So fall back, spring forward. So I got a watch here. And I got two watches right here, and both of these are wrong. So I had that watch on, and I put my Apple Watch on that has the right time. But all day, I've been thinking we were an hour ahead because I had my my Walmart watch on that I never changed or I never flipped back. So that was my bad. So yeah, let's talk about some altcoins really quick. And I'm gonna make a whole dedicated, probably like a 30-minute video of some probably some top altcoins. Let's actually go to CoinMarketCap. Some top altcoins. And where are some levels, or how would I accumulate, at what levels for some of these altcoins? And I'm only looking at coins that I have a very, very, very high conviction that they will come back, and not just come back, meaning they're, a lot of coins came back technically, but they haven't made new all-time highs. They haven't taken out key levels from the past, things like that. So in actuality, they are dead. So I'm looking at, coins like, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB. So this is one that I hadn't talked about all cycle. I had talked about BNB all cycle, and I feel like that was my fault. Like with Binance and with CZ basically controlling the market, why am I not talking about BNB? Or why am I not investing just a little bit into BNB? And we're not going to even get into Binance and all type of manipulation and things like that. But I thought BNB, there we go, is going to be here just because BNB is just going to be here. And I think in the future, BNB will be, much higher than it is now, even if it's manipulated higher. I think it'll be here. I think Solana will be here. Tron, that's another one that's pretty heavily manipulated. Justin Sun, I think that one's going to be here, but I don't think I'm going to invest in Tron. But it is fast. If you want to send some money quick, fast, and cheap, Tron. Do Tron. Dogecoin had a nice run. We called a good Dogecoin run from like 10 cents. I was adamant about it over on the Crypto Nightcap. If you remember, if you've been watching the Crypto Nightcap, I was adamant about Dogecoin. And Dogecoin went from like 10 cents to 50 cents. We got out of Dogecoin. We wasn't holding Dogecoin long. But I think Dogecoin will stand the test of times. My thesis for Dogecoin was predicated on Elon Musk. Elon Musk stopped talking about it. Elon Musk pretty much stopped talking about crypto. I thought X payments was going to come around. I thought Dogecoin was going to be implemented into X payments and things like that. That didn't pan out yet. So Dogecoin really didn't have any type of run this cycle. Cardano, I sold some Cardano. My sale order was at 50 cents. I was holding since 2020 and 2021. Sold all my Cardano at, I think, 55 and 50 cents, just so I can have a little bit more dry powder on the side. So, I like Charles Hoskinson. I think Cardano is going to be around. Will it appreciate or will it outperform Bitcoin? That's the main thing that I'm looking at. If I'm going to buy something, it has to either keep up or outperform Bitcoin. If not, then I'll just keep Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Cardano had a pretty lackluster bull run. So we'll continue to watch Cardano. What else we got? Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let's go over here. So we talk about Cardano, Hyperliquid. So I like Hype. I don't like it at $38, even though, this could be a bottom. Like, we don't know. I like Hype in the 20s and below, in the teens, if we can get there. If we do go into some sort of a bear market where altcoins do bleed another 50%. I like Hyperliquid. I like the whole decentralized perp exchange. I think that is going to be a narrative that's going to continue to last. So I like Hyperliquid. So that would be one I might accumulate. I might accumulate some Hyperliquid in the bear market if we go into a bear market, if this is a bear market. But 38.70, if it goes up from here and I miss it, then oh well, I'll find something else. But if it starts to go to some of those low levels, like in the teens, if it goes to the low 20s to the teens, and even potentially under the teens, because some of these altcoins, like if you're in a bear market, altcoins can bleed hard, but they can bounce back, but they can bleed like hard. They can go down like 90% and then they can go down like another 90%. Usually if that happens, they might be dead. But if it goes down like 90% from, the top, then that'll be a gift, I think, because Hyperliquid, I think it'll be around. So I'm really just trying to wrap my head around what coins will be around, which coins will stand the test of time. Zcash, a lot of people, man, Zcash has been the talk of crypto the past couple months. Look at this. Look at this chart. This is crazy. So in September, it was at $50. No, it was at the beginning of September. It was at like $40. Now it's at $700. So privacy coins, Bill Noble was talking about privacy coins for a very long time and they were underperforming. I think Monero, he was talking about Zcash. He was talking about, it was another one, maybe like Rose or something like that. But these privacy coins, he was talking about it. So I will give him his props to that. And they were not doing nothing. And that's the thing about crypto. Coins just don't do something until they do. And then, look at it now. Right now, we're at 700, basically approaching all-time highs for Zcash again. So Zcash, let me actually look and see. So Zcash circulating supply is 16 million. Max supply is 21 million. Wow, and it's only $700. Fully diluted value is only 14 billion. Oh, this is still pretty cheap. Oh goodness. So I'm Zcash. I mean, I wish I would have. A lot of people. Oh, that's why they were saying that. A lot of people were saying buying Zcash at 700 is like buying Bitcoin at 700. Now I get what they're saying. I never looked at this. Like I literally never looked at the circulating supply. Never really looked at its data. So the market cap for Zcash is only 11 billion, and it only has 21 million is the max supply with 16 million in circulation right now. So I mean, if this continues like this, if the narrative of or if the privacy narrative continues, which it probably will because of the way crypto is going, a lot of people are going to start to want more privacy in their transactions and things like that. This could pump. But the bad thing about it, and I hate to be a doom and gloomer when it comes to privacy coins. Like what happens when they start to like try to ban this type of stuff? You know what I mean? Even though they can't ban, they can't ban a blockchain, you know what I mean? But they can make it illegal. FUD, things like that start coming in, and then we could probably get some sort of a huge crash. Like they used to do with Bitcoin. Like, China all banned Bitcoin how many times? And, until we really solidified, every time China said something about banning Bitcoin, it would crash. So, maybe it could happen with that, but I like the privacy narrative. Zcash, I think Zcash, if it continues on this path, I think it has a huge upside. Now that I see this, looking at the circulating supply, and it only has $14 billion fully diluted market cap. Like, I like that. I like that a lot. So Zcash is another one that a lot of people have been talking about, and a lot of people may start to accumulate. It looks like they're accumulating now. Bitcoin Cash, this was a good chart to trade this cycle. It has some good chart. I'm not accumulating. This was a very good chart to trade. But I'm not really talking about that like to accumulate. Chainlink pretty much underperformed as well. I bought Chainlink at $50 in 2021, thinking it was going to like 1,000. Started to pull back. I didn't sell. So I think I still own Chainlink. I think I brought my average cost down to like $32. So I was trying to hold off. We almost got to my my order at 31.13. That was the high of this cycle, but I'm still underwater. I'm underwater in this. But I think I'm a hold. I think if we go down, probably lose. If we go back below $10, I could buy some and try to bring my average cost down. I think Chainlink's going to stand the test of times. I think Chainlink is going to be one that is good to accumulate. I'm not going super heavy, but I will, bring my cost basis down, especially if we can start, closing below 10 and possibly going into these areas back here, which was pretty much a bear market. Our bear market was around $6. So if we can come back around this area here, then I'll buy some Chainlink. Why not? I think Chainlink will stand the test of times. I like Chainlink. So that's pretty much it. Avalanche. I like Avalanche. I think I hold maybe $250 worth of Avalanche. So not too much. Remember Shiba Inu? This was when the crypto market was just absolutely insane, man. I miss those days. I really miss the Shiba Inu days when people were blowing up my phone asking me about Shiba Inu. Those was the days. Polkadot, we thought Polkadot was going to do good. Didn't do nothing. It's at $2.80. Had a terrible bull run. Toncoin. So Toncoin, I say Toncoin, Crow, which is crypto.com, World Liberty Fi, and it's another one that I was looking at. I think it's WorldCoin. Yeah, WorldCoin. So these, I'm keeping these on my radar just because they actually they have products. They're like with products. They have like a real world thing behind them. So Toncoin is Telegram's coin. So we haven't really heard too much about it after the founder or something was got arrested, like France or something like that. It started to go down. It really didn't start to come back. But this, I mean, if it can start integrating things in Telegram, I like Telegram. If it can start integrating things and doing things, then I think Toncoin can stand the test of times. But I mean, these will have to go way lower than where they are now for me to even try to get, the risk to reward has to be a little bit better. The risk to reward, like if it goes down another 90%, or if it goes to 50 cents, let's say if it's $1.83, 50 cents, below 50 cents, then I would be more inclined to buy. I don't want to buy at 183, even though a lot of these coins probably going to be way higher than where they are now. The risk to reward for me is not really worth it right now when I can just, buy some other coins that I know are going to appreciate. Even if it's not more X's or more multiples, I'd rather have my risk to reward is a little bit not really trying to be too risky at this moment in time. Now, if we get to like low and it's just like nobody wants to talk about crypto, everybody hates crypto, then I'll start to buy a little bit more heavier into some of these altcoins that are super cheap but have some sort of a real world use case, and also they have like people backing them, like WorldCoin, World LibertyFi. This is the president's coin. I think that's going to do well just because they're probably going to pump it somehow or make somebody buy it just to, pay to play or something like that. I think that was, I think that'll be something. What was the other one I said? WorldCoin is ChatGPT, Sam Altman. So I think, I think that's going to open AI. I think that one's going to do well just because of, who it is and what's behind them. Ondo, we talked about Ondo. I think, I thought Ondo was going to do. Ondo had a pretty good run at one point, but then it didn't, it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. So I think, not sure about Ondo. I own some Ondo. It's getting close to my entry, so we'll watch it. But we'll see, because we are approaching the end of the year, so we'll do some tax loss harvesting, if need be, when it comes to some of these altcoins. So, like I said, we're approaching. How long we've been on stream? We've been on stream for almost an hour, a little over an hour. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming by. Just like I said, I wanted to stop by, get on live, and make sure. Check everybody's temperature, like I like to say, and make sure everybody is doing okay. Let's actually go to the comments and see what you guys go to the chat and see. Make sure. AI Griff, what's up, AI Griff? We have been going up for a while. Yeah. So AI Griff says, yes, hello bear market. We have been going up for a while. So this has been a bull run. AI Griff. I mean, all we got to do is just look at. I mean, Bitcoin went from basically 115 all the way up to 126. So let's get a low here. 115 to 126. That's a 720% gain. That's a bull run. I mean, that's a bull run. The diminishing returns, of course, it's not as big as previous bull runs, but I mean, a 700% run is definitely a bull run. What do you think of ADA? I think it's cooked. I think it's kind of cooked too. I don't think it's cooked in the sense of it's going to zero, but I think it's cooked in a sense of I don't think these blockchains that have great tech, that's the thing about a lot of these blockchains, even a lot of these projects have great tech. They have amazing tech. It's just not translating. We don't have really too much to gauge to see how much is worth, like a stock. Like we can look at shares, we can look at earnings, we can look at this, that to see how much is kind of worth. A stock is kind of worth a little bit, a lot of stocks are overvalued to me right now anyway, but we still have something we can look at things to gauge how much a company or how much a, company in stocks would equate to a project in crypto, how much is worth. So I think if we do start to get more tech, like if tech comes to the forefront at some point in the future, then I think these projects, these blockchains will appreciate a little bit faster. But until then, as long as it's like speculation, I don't think it's gonna do like super good until we start getting like techie in the space. Until people start buying because of the tech. Nobody's buying because of the tech. That's the thing. It's all speculation. So until then, I don't think it's gonna be too good. I don't think it's gonna do too good. What do you think of Ada? Hello, I find you from Crypto Blood. He talked. Oh, Crypto Blood is my guy. Crypto Blood is also from Detroit. That's my guy, man. Crypto Blood is an OG in the space, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Crypto Blood has been here longer than a lot of people. He's been here for a long, long time. He's been in crypto for a long, long time. So it's a lot you can learn from him. He's always like me. He's pretty cool if the market is going up. He's pretty cool if the market is going down. Shout out to Crypto Blood, man. That's my Detroit brother, man. Shout out to Crypto Blood. Also, thoughts on NFTs? Will we get real world NFTs like Rolex or diamonds? So I'm hoping we do. I'm answering AI Griff's questions. He's asking about NFTs, and real world asset NFTs like Rolex or diamonds. I think, and that goes back to what I was talking about when it comes to the tech. Once people realize that crypto is not just speculation, once people realize that the technology is amazing, like NFTs, like it's more than just pictures. It's people just equate NFT with a JPEG, with a picture. NFT is a technology. Like verification. Like it's so much technology behind all of these things. Like it's still early. We were early. Like NFTs were early. I think those come back. I don't think they're gonna be called NFTs. I think it's gonna be called something else. They may be called NFTs, but I think those do come back. I think they come back in music. I think they come back in art. I think they come back in fashion. I think they come back in a lot of different things, not just JPEG. So the blockchain is going to be one of the, and AI, the blockchain, AI, NFT, like non-fungible tokens on the blockchain and AI, it's all going to be integrated somehow. How long that takes is who knows how long it's going to take. I'd say within the next 3 to 5 years for sure. We were very early, and the speculation, the greed took over. So we weren't able to, it left a bad taste in people's mouth, when the NFT, like Bored Ape Yacht Club and all that, like a lot of these NFTs, I hold like 5 NFTs. They're like all worth -0 now, if that's even a number. Like, so I think that'll come back. Like I said, once the technology starts to get a little bit more in the forefront, I think then it'll be, I think it'll come back. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I believe they say it's a quantum resistant Zcash. Yeah, I was watching something with the founder, and she was they were very smart. They were very smart. So I think I did hear him say that. But these computers are getting super smart, especially with AI. Quantum computing is right around the corner. So hopefully, a lot of these, as the technology gets smarter, hopefully people who, create these blockchains, create these projects and things like that. That's another thing, security in crypto. That needs to be better. Once we can get better security, especially like you said, with these supercomputers and these quantum computers starting to get smarter, I think it'll be a lot more advantageous to hold some of these projects that have good tech long term. Dash is another one that's been out for a long time. That's been a long time. Chainlink is the Netscape of crypto. Yep. So that's why I'm holding. I'm underwater, but I think Chainlink is going to be good. And like I said, that goes back to the tech. Once people, and Chainlink has massive partnerships. Chainlink has massive things that are going good for them in the crypto space. It's just not speculate. People are just not speculating on it because they don't care about the tech. Chainlink is one of the most best tech projects in crypto. It's the Oracle is like you said, the Netscape of crypto. But people are not really, they don't care about the tech. So when people start caring about the technology, that's when I think a lot of these projects with great tech will start to do good. Alexandra G, please follow me on X. Appreciate that, Alexandra G. I'm on X at FDWhiteInvest. The free, the free Telegram. WorldCoin, yeah. So WorldCoin, WorldCoin is that's Sam Altman, OpenAI, ChatGPT. That's all intertwined with them somehow. So I think that one, just because it's who founded it, it was him and another dude or a couple other dudes who founded WorldCoin. So I'm just speculating. I'm speculating a little bit. I never really dove deep into the technology, what it's doing. I never read the white paper, things like that. But ChatGPT, OpenAI, like they're gonna IPO at like trillions of dollars. You know what I mean? Probably somewhere very high. So WorldCoin is tied to that. So I'm just speculating. So right now I'm in speculation mode, just like everybody else. So that's why I'm speculating on WorldCoin. So we'll see what happened. I laddered out from 109 to 118. That's how you do it. So AI Griff says he laddered out from basically, I think he means Bitcoin. He laddered out from Bitcoin at 109 through 118. And that's how you do it. You ladder out. If you're trying to sell, you ladder out on the way up, and then you ladder in on the way down. That's basically how you do it. Trying to time tops and time bottoms, you're gonna drive yourself insane. I've been there and I've done that. I've tried to do it. I've never I don't think I've ever successfully sold anything at the top or at the bottom. But I've made huge gains, even if it went up more or even if it went down more, and I wanted to, I had no more money to buy when it went lower. You're just not going. You're not going to time the top or the bottom. So that's pretty much what I suggest. So AI Griff did the exact thing that you should do. Amazing stream. Trade Intuition, Joe. I'm gonna get with you, man. Let's get on a stream this week. I know you stream. Joe he streams like twice a day, so many times a week. Every time I'm on YouTube, he's streaming, man. So he's a motivation for me. So let's get on the horn. Let's get on the horn and get something together, man. Because I like to get on the stream with you and try to learn some new things. When it comes to the trading world as well. NFTs will become its own asset class. So Cameron says NFTs will become its own asset class Man, I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting that NFTs are gonna be. I think the technology is amazing, man. And like I said, I think music, fashion, just you can verify anything on the blockchain. As in, you can turn anything, make it an NFT. You know what I mean? And then how are you like just the transactions or the digital property things like that? How to verify if something is actually yours, who owns it? It's a lot, man. The technology is amazing. We just in some sort of a phase where nobody cares right now. Nobody cares, but they will care. They will care. And I think NFTs, if they even will still be called NFTs, NFTs will be back. And if you are building something, if you want to build something, and this is what I'm doing, I'm not going to give it away yet, but if you want to build something, so I'm thinking 5 years into the future. I'm thinking like maybe what's going to be, what are people not focused on, but it might very well be a new technology that people are going to start to adopt. And I mean, I think NFTs like, and in what space? In what space? And like I said, music, NFTs, different things like that. I think it's coming. I really think it's coming. It's just complicated right now. It's super complicated. People don't have the time or some people don't have the ability. It's a lot of people that don't have the ability right now, but it's very complicated. Crypto is complicated. Even to send crypto, like a lot, it's still like, it's easy to us because we've been doing it. But if you try to like, when I tried to show somebody how to send some Bitcoin from Coinbase to their wallet, it was just like, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come over your house and do it. Because I was trying to explain it to them. They was like, well, what is a C of this, that? So it's still complicated, And NFTs was just like, some of these NFTs, like trying to send them and do things. Like I was trying to send some NFTs on HBAR, and it was just like weird. It's like a weird thing that you got to do. It's not just a seed phrase. It's some other stuff. So it's still difficult to use. So I think as the technology evolves, it'll get a little bit simpler, and then it'll be a lot more adoption. And as the adoption comes in, then people will start to appreciate the tech, and the tech will be a lot more vibrant throughout the world. Right now, nobody cares about blockchain. Nobody cares about the technology. They just care about number go up. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. I can't wait to Call of Duty. So that's another thing. Gaming too. A lot of people was early on gaming when it comes to that. Like you see, first and foremost, and then we're gonna get out of here. You see how right now we have social media, like Facebook is paying, Instagram, all these social media sites pay. They pay now. I think they're gonna start integrating some crypto eventually, or some blockchain technology. And then I think gaming will, as well. We had them skins. We thought it was coming. We thought it was coming earlier. We thought, what's the Fortnite? Fortnite has skins, and all these other games have skins. We thought it was going to come a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner, where you can do something with some sort of crypto. Excuse me, or they integrate crypto. But I think it's going to take a actual blockchain crypto game. I don't think it's going to, or one of these high profile games like Call of Duty. Call of Duty. If Call of Duty does it, then people will follow suit. But I think it's going to take like a crypto game, because crypto games right now are trash. Most of them are trash. It's going to take a crypto game, or, Activision or somebody is going to build something, or like you said, integrated within Call of Duty. But I think it's going to have to be a crypto specific game, or a huge title that comes out with some blockchain interaction, and then people will follow suit. It just takes one. It takes one, and then people will follow suit. So I do think gaming will have its turn. It had nothing this cycle. I know a couple people were huge on gaming. It pretty much did nothing. But I think it's coming. I think it's coming down the pipeline. All the technology people know right now is AI. That's the talk of the town. Once AI becomes like standard and normal, it's going to be something new. Like, what's the new buzzword? It's going to be some sort of blockchain, some sort of word within the blockchain community, or in the blockchain space, in my opinion. So right now, everybody's just so hell bent on AI. So, nobody wants to even talk about blockchain. But like I said, blockchain and crypto is going to be the way to interact monetarily, probably with the AI, with the systems. So they'll be integrated, in some form or fashion, I believe, and then we'll continue to go from there. So right now, that's pretty much it. Gonna get out of here. Bitcoin is chilling at 94,900. We're not getting a huge bounce from our line. This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a huge bounce from this line. once we came down. That's what I really wanted to see some strength from the bulls come in. Let's actually zoom in. We wanted to come down here. We had this weekly close. We wanted to get some sort of a bounce, a nice strong bounce. We're not getting it. We're not getting that strong bounce. So we'll continue to watch Bitcoin. We'll continue to watch the crypto market, and we'll continue to keep you updated. Make sure you come to the Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Club. Link is in the pinned comments. Appreciate you if you stop by. Mark Dutch is in the building. Mark Dutch is my guy, man. Appreciate you, Mark Dutch. I appreciate Mark Dutch, man. He's been rolling with the Cool Kids for a long time. It's back when we were doing the Piper Academy crypto nightcap thing. So shout out to Mark Dutch. Appreciate you for stopping by. And yeah, everybody have a good Sunday. I'm gonna go chill with my family for a bit, put them in bed, chill with my wife, hopefully finish watching this movie. So right now I'm at the age where it take me like 2 or 3 days to watch a movie, to complete a movie. So I'm on day 2 of this new movie with Kevin James and the dude from Reacher. I can't remember his name, but it's like a comedy, some type of spy comedy or something like that. So I'm gonna go finish watching that. And yeah, we'll be back at the charts. Gonna continue to watch these and hopefully catch some trades. If we can get a bounce, a dead cat bounce, make some money, I'll be happy for the week. I haven't really been shorting lately. I've been looking for bounces, dead cat bounces, little bounces, some reclaims. So that's really what I'm looking at. And like I said, everything will be down in the Telegram. Appreciate you all. You in the dark room. Yeah. So I'm in the red room today, man. We need some red light therapy for this, the way this market is going, Mark. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, all set analysts, appreciate you. Trade Intuition, Joe, Alexandra G, everybody, thank you for the shout out and stream. Appreciate you, all set. We'll get at you guys in a minute. Have a good Sunday. Don't let the world stress you out too much. You know, don't let crypto stress you out too much as well. We're gonna use this as opportunity. Because I know everybody, when the market, then we'll get out of here. When the market ramps up and you feel like you missed everything and this and that, you know, you're like, I wish the market had come back. I wish the market had dropped some more. So it's dropping. So if it continues to drop, just remember how you felt when you felt like you left or you got missed or you missed out. So now we're getting another chance, you know, some of these coins, if you think some of these coins are going to go up. But if Bitcoin continues to go down, I think Bitcoin is going to 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. So why not accumulate? And, you know, you just got to have a little bit of conviction and a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and it'll pay off. So like I said, I'll get out of here for real this time. I'll talk to you in a minute. Peace. Appreciate everybody for stopping.